Yeah. When it comes to, let's say you mentioned in there BJJ fanatics earlier with like balance and instructionals and constraints led or whatever ecological approach, what what place does instructionals have in that class or outside the class in learning? Like, what is the relationship between the two? Can someone watch instructionals and try to learn techniques and then go into an ecological class and apply them, or is that like what's the relationship between the two?
Uh, yeah, I still love instructionals. I think instructionals are great. I would tell anybody to watch them, look at it, because you kind of see where their mind is. You know, some are better than others, obviously. Like I always used to, and it's funny because I heard Greg when he first started coming on talking about it. And if I used to watch a Danaher DVD, I used to like the first DVD the most because that's when he would talk about the overall game and the goal of it. And then he shows you all the techniques that can get you there, right? There's always what the central problem and all these little things he talks about. Or I was a huge Mendes Brothers fan. Like I used to go on Mendes Brothers online, which was amazing. And Hoffa would do these amazing instructionals, but I would try to pick out the concepts that he's talking about it and where can I apply it. So I'd watch all their stuff. So you could still do that. And listen, go learn any technique you want, but you're not going to start hitting that technique till you put it into that live environment and understand why that technique works. Kind of gets you thinking a little bit more about things. So
The context behind it.
yeah, like I like watching a lot of, you know, ADCC or live rolls or watch like B team sparring or stuff like that. Like, it was interesting because, I was watching Craig Jones. He put like a 35-minute YouTube video for his power pins and it was just him sparring. He wasn't teaching any technique. It was like 35 minutes of him sparring. And I just watched that. And I'm like, okay, so what is he doing? I didn't want to buy his DVD because I was into the ecological stuff. I'm like, maybe I could look at this and kind of see what he's doing. And can I make my students look towards that? Where should their attention be? So I started coming up with these different games and I understood all he was doing was controlling with his shins, you know, above and below the knees. He was doing all these different things with his power pins that are not traditional jujitsu pins. And I started creating games around that. And I was doing it myself when I'm in live roles. I create my own games against people that don't know they're doing it because that's how I learn. Because I need my time to learn too, right? So
Right.
the sparring environment is my time to learn. Even if they don't know they're there, I could kind of put the action to where I want since I have a little more experience. So I started training my students on it. And in a class or two, these kids were shin pinning and controlling and getting all these different type of rides. And I'm like, because the concept of what he was doing, what was his intention and where was his focus of attention? And that's all you really kind of need. And then certain kids are going to do it a different way. Certain adults are going to do it this way, but the goal is still the same. And I'm like, okay, that was another signal to me that I was able to watch somebody do something, make some games around it, what I thought was the where the focus should be, and it created a good outcome.